YouTube! Today we have another Elden Ring lore video for you. And make no mistake, this is the GOAT lore video. Because today, we're talking about the bow. Hit the like and please subscribe if you want to see more of these. You first hear of the Tibia Mariner and those who live in death from D, Hunter of the Dead. D is a faithful servant to the Golden Order and seeks to kill all those who live in death. And he specifically mentions the Tibia Mariner.
My warning. Those who live in death should be left well alone. All the more should you spy a mariner among their number, unless you wish to lay down your life in vain.
The Tibia Mariner is more than likely one of the easier field boss encounters in Elden Ring, and we don't get a lot of backstory. He's a skeleton who rows a magical boat. There's obviously an allusion to the minor Greek god Charon, who had ferried the dead to the underworld in ancient Greek folklore, and it certainly wouldn't be the first time George R.R. Martin has taken some inspiration from ancient mythology and applied it to his characters. I honestly thought the Tibia Mariner was pretty silly the first time I fought one. There are 4 Tibia Mariner bosses located in Elden Ring, one in Summonwater Village in Limgrave, one in Liurny of the Lakes, one in the mountaintop of the Giants, and one in the Wyndham ruins of Altus Plateau. The Tibia Mariner rows a boat, teleports around marshlands in those areas, and summons a host of skeletons both large and small until he is defeated. And upon being defeated, the Tibia Mariner always drops deathroot. Now outside of the deathroot, his different iterations will drop either Ashen Remains, a summoning incantation, and finally Helfen's Steeple. And these items help paint a greater picture of his story. Those who live in death began to roam after what is known in the lands between as the Night of Black Knives. The Night of Black Knives refers to the assassination of Godwyn at the hands of the Black Knive assassins, and this is the kind of watershed moment for the lands between as it shapes the region into the one we find at the beginning of the game, Elden Ring. It is not long after that Marika and Radagon vanish and a major civil war breaks out as the children of Marika all make their own power grabs and vie for the throne. Now, the Night of Black Knives is a lore event that other YouTubers have gone over, and anything I did would feel kind of derivative of that at this point, so I chose to give you the story of the Tibia Mariner instead. After the Night of Black Knives, a new plant begins to appear in the lands between known as deathroot. This plant, sought after by some, is said to create those who live in death when it comes into contact with those who died in battle. The Tibia summons tells us that those who live in death have wandered far too long and are in great need of a leader. And in this case, we're talking about the skeletons that roam the lands between, who do not know true death, and really all of the characters in Elden Ring, save for maybe the demigods, have been living this vicious cycle of life and death. In comes the Tibia Mariner, and he is in possession of the sword of Helfen's Steeple. The Helfen's Steeple was said to be the lamplight used to guide those who died in battle into the spirit world. So I don't think it's too much of a reach to say that the Tibia Mariner came to guide those who wander, lost in death, back to the spirit world. But because of the current state of the lands between, there is no path back. We know deathroot began showing up after the assassination of Godwyn, and later on in the game we find Godwyn's corpse, which was laid to rest at the roots of the Erd Tree.
Died a true death, a scion of the Golden Bough, sentenced to live in death. How could such a thing come to be?
His body seems to be being reabsorbed into the Erd Tree, and I don't think it's a stretch to suggest that the deathroot, which has been growing since the death of Godwyn, is a direct result of this fusion and is causing the inhabitants of Elden Ring to come into contact with it to live in death and become skeletal frames of what they once were. So while the Tibia Mariner is a field boss we're typically delighted to see, because frankly he's not all that difficult, he's living out a miserable existence, stuck in this endless cycle of trying to herd a group of people who have no path to the afterlife. I also think it's worth noting that the mast of his boat is the same cross-like shape we see Marika hanging from, which is ironic to me because while he seems to be serving the Golden Order, the servants of the Golden Order are the very same ones trying to put those who wander in death down. His attempts to be a leader to these skeletons is a futile one, and as he's one of the field bosses that does not respawn, we're at the very least putting him out of his misery. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.